Where do things stand right now with the investigation into my alma mater, Dan Wetzel?
Well, yeah, I'm glad you called. I wanted to do a wellness check on you yesterday. How are we?
You know what?
Right?
I'll be straight up with you. Obviously concerned and curious, to be straight up, as to what's happening and what is fact, what is fiction, what is gray area, what everyone else does, what is exceptional, as to what's happening. So I'll give you the floor on that, Dan.
Okay. Well, I think if you get rid of all the smoke and the anonymous comments and all the different stuff, right?
Yeah.
It boils down to a few questions. So you're allowed to steal signs. You're allowed to figure out signs. There is no expectation of privacy when you're waving a giant billboard, a big poster board in front of 80,000 people and a bunch of national television. So you can steal all the signs you want. The issue here is, best we can tell, because the NCAA hasn't released any of the actual details, did Michigan acquire information while having somebody, and this is the key part, at opponents' games, previous games, off campus? You are not allowed to scout off campus in person. But that rule was written in 1994. That rule does not specify who can't scout. The presumption would be assistant coaches. Now we would have analysts. We would have anybody who worked in the athletic department, those types of things.
Mm-hmm.
But what this appears to be is you could have just Rich Eisen could go and watch the USC game and then send a report and take some videos or take a picture of the sideline and send it to Michigan and say, hey, this is what I saw. And if they ever play USC, they would be able to decipher that information. Would you be, in that case, a representative of the university? Would the NCAA bylaw account to you? Where would this all go? The whole point is the bit. Now, if you read Harbaugh's statement very closely, it says, I had no idea any of this going on. I didn't direct any of my staff or any of these things. The idea that staffers were going or anybody at the athletic department, highly, highly unlikely. It would require, the athletic director being in on it, the accounting department that's paying travel reimbursement, all that. So it's this other people are maybe acquiring this information. That is sort of a theory of the case, and that's what the NCAA is kind of alluding to. Who are these people? Are they Michigan reps or not? That would be a big thing. How would the NCAA rule on that? Did Harbaugh know that was going on, or is it just this low-level assistant, Connor Stallion, who ESPN has cited as the person of interest, who was a naval officer, a Marine officer, went to the U.S. Naval Academy, was technically a recruiting analyst, but had developed a reputation around the Big Ten as the guy who could steal the signs. Almost every team has got someone trying to steal the signs. Now, again, if you steal the signs because you're watching TV and you figure it out, or you're standing on your own sideline during the game and you figure it out, perfectly legal. Was this guy sending his friends to do it, and Harbaugh and above didn't know? And he was just acting on his own because he's a young guy, he's getting a ton of recognition and a lot of benefit from it. And he wants to be good at his job, and he's not running it up the flagpole. It's not a guy who's going to be meeting with Jim Harbaugh for days, hours each day or anything like that. And they just thought, hey, this guy's really good at watching the video and ascertaining these signs. So those are the questions. Who was doing this scouting off campus? Do they even count? What did Harbaugh know? Was this guy just acting on his own, or was someone else just acting on his own? Did any of the higher-ups, a coordinator or somebody else, know anything? And that's where this case is going to end up boiling down to. All the other stuff is just a lot of people shouting right.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.